And what's up, you guys? Welcome to the Mango Grove. My name is Krisha, and this is today's Bitcoin and Chainlink analysis video. Now, I know that I'm starting off with a very bearish trade setup on Bitcoin's chart on that 2-day time frame, but hey, I just spotted this and I thought it was really interesting, and I know that many of you like pattern plays, so why the hell not? But please note that this is completely premature. Patterns only become patterns after the break. I keep repeating this over and over again, and I am going to still keep repeating it over and over again until you guys get it. But if you look at this, the pattern that I have on my chart is an inverted cup and handle. Okay, now if this does end up breaking down, and if we have that neckline break, the neckline is sitting at around 9,982, which is actually pretty cool because that's sort of, it's almost in line with that weekly low. Okay, it's that weekly low that I've been talking to you guys about, the weekly low that I want Bitcoin to defend if we have to maintain our macro uptrend. Okay, but if we break that weekly low, I think Bitcoin, first of all, I think Bitcoin will be doing something very, very different. Okay, but I do believe that we will see follow through to the downside. And what's cool is that that sort of break of the weekly low also lines up with the break of this beautiful inverted cup and handle. Now, if we actually break this to the downside, the measured move of this will essentially take Bitcoin down to $7,500. But guys, please, this is, yes, it's a bearish trade setup. Does it have to be a bad thing? No, we're traders here. We need to know how to long and short and take advantage of opportunities irrespective of market direction. Speaking of trade setups, for those of you in the Mango Seed program, Ollie and Trader Fraser have been posting some amazing trade setups on the Discord channel, so you guys can go and find that there. For those of you Seed members who do not have access yet, you can either PM me, Sean, or Trader Fraser, and we will grant you access to that Discord channel. Now I'm going to get rid of this, and I'm going to pan on over to the weekly time frame, and I want to give you guys an update on my short position. So I finally closed it out. When I took the short, I took my short at $11,050. I did take profits along the weekly Tenkin, right? That was my my target take profit. I had a take profit zone. It was not one level, it was a zone. So I took 70% of my profits around that Tenkin, and I took the rest off today when we tested that beautiful weekly horizontal at 10,190. So my short position is closed, and I'll be looking for a price reacts in this region, because remember what I was looking for. I was looking for Bitcoin to put in a higher low. Okay, and so far we're maintaining that higher low thesis. Okay, as soon as Bitcoin starts breaking these lows here, which also lines up with the neckline of that cup and handle I just showed you guys, I do believe that we're coming down further. Okay, now mind you, we still have support under us, so even if we do break that, the first region of support that I'll be looking for price to actually stutter at the very least, is going to be 9,500. If we break that, then the next region is going to be the bottom of the cloud at around 8,600. Okay, this is the bottom of the weekly cloud. And I do believe that Bitcoin does really well off the weekly cloud levels. I think it's a very, very good reference point. So that's what I'll be watching out for. Now, we do close this weekly candle in about 4 days or so. We're getting into the weekend day after tomorrow. So watch out for that. We could see some weekend effery, as people would like to say. So be careful of that. But now let's get on to those lower time frames and see if Bitcoin could have a revival, the revival of the bulls. Now, the first thing I honestly note here is that so far, guys, we're defending that weekly support. Okay, 10,183. While it looks like a very ordinary line on my chart, mind you, it's not. Okay, if you plot it on your chart and you just assess price action off of that region, you'll notice that it is a very, very strong region of support. Okay, so as long as price is living over that, I do believe that the bulls can kick in and take price up. Now, what I personally will be looking for, if I just put on that 10 simple moving average, at the very least, I'll be looking for price to start living over that 10 simple moving average, and quite possibly even getting back up onto that 21 EMA. As soon as we start living over there, I'll be looking for price to take out this region right here at around 10,542. Okay, if price starts taking out 10,542, we see a break of that region. I will be looking for price to start testing the neckline of the breakdown point. Now remember, we actually broke down from that beautiful head and shoulders top pattern that we saw, right? This right here being the neckline. I'm going to extend that. And there you go. This right here being the neckline. At the very least, if price does end up getting back over 10,500 over the next 4 days leading up to that weekly close, I'll be looking for price to actually come up here and test the neckline, which is sitting at 10,700, give or take. Okay, we start breaking 10,700 to the upside. I think the bulls are going to start building that momentum. Okay, but now this is Bitcoin on that 4-hour time frame. For now, as things stand, we are still very much in a downtrend. If we start losing this 10,180 region to the downside, I do believe that the next point of support is going to be around 10,090. Now that lines up with the weekly 21 EMA. So far, the weekly levels have proved as support even on those lower time frames. They tend to kick in even on the lower time frames. So watch out for that. So I believe that the weekly 21 EMA is sitting at around 10,090. Somewhere around here. Okay, now of course we did not get an official test of that weekly 21 EMA yet. This did get front run right here, right? We managed to come down to weekly support, but we never got down to that weekly 21 EMA. Okay, now let's get onto the 1-hour time frame to see if there's any sort of pattern play there that we could potentially go off of. No, it's not. It's like a very, very tiny range of consolidation. There's nothing here, and I don't want to be grabbing onto straws here. But what is to note is that we are holding that 10 SMA as support underneath us. As soon as we start getting over that 21 EMA and start holding it as support, I'll be looking for continuation to the upside, possibly testing the 10,500 region once again. Okay, it's going to be an if this, then that. So far, it is still very much in bearish territory. But what is to note here is that Bitcoin on that 1-hour time frame is in a uptrend of sorts. Okay, if we maintain it, we could see a further push to the upside. So watch out for that. But the most important thing on this chart right now, guys, okay, for all you traders out there, is that Bitcoin is currently sitting on weekly support. The support being at 10,183. Until this breaks, I will not be looking for downside. Okay, not yet. This has to break. I need to see candle body closes underneath 10,180 for me to consider any more downside on this chart. But getting into the weekly time frames, guys, what I do not want to see is us losing these candle wicks right here. We lose it, I think there's more downside to go. Okay, now this is all I have for you for Bitcoin. Let's get on to Chainlink and see what it is up to. Now, we did go over Chainlink yesterday, and there were two very important things that I brought to your attention. The first one being this M-like formation that we saw form at the top. Now, if I just get onto some of my lower time frames for that just come into perspective, there you go. Now, the measured move that I personally got for this was that $6.88 region. I do believe that some people are looking at this region right here as a neckline, essentially lining it up with the horizontal at $13.78. Now, if you take that region as the neckline of the M-like formation and you draw out your measured move, okay, and you plot it from the break, it will take Chainlink USDT down to $7.21, and we technically just got that down there. So for those of you who caught that, you guys very well may be right on that measured move being the right one. So $7.20 could have very well been the measured move of that M-like formation. Now, yesterday, another thing that we spoke about was whether or not price was likely to see continuation to the downside. And the region that I was looking at was this one right here at $8.14, give or take. And I was looking at how the 12-hour time frame closed relative to that region to determine whether or not we were going to see immediate downside. And while we did close over, it appeared that we tested the 10 simple moving average, I believe on the 4-hour time frame. We got rejected off the 4-hour 10 SMA, and we saw swift continuation to the downside, coming down and testing these daily regions of support at $7.20. But now question is, where does Chainlink go from here? Could this be another bounce only to test that 10 SMA again and only to get rejected once again? It's going to be an if this then that. Okay, I'll be completely honest with you guys. If there's one region I honestly look at for Chainlink to hold to determine whether or not there's going to be a change in trend, it is that 21 EMA region. Okay, the 21 EMA and the Tenkin. And I want you to notice how right now it is lining up with a daily horizontal sitting at around $8.66. As soon as price starts living over the 21 EMA, the Tenkin, and that $8.66 region, I do believe that Chainlink could potentially see further upside. okay, at which point I will be looking out for a trend to be established. Okay, I'm not looking for a confirmed trend. No, I'm looking for a trend to be established because I've noticed that Chainlink first likes taking out the weekly 21 EMA, using it as support for multiple consecutive 4-hour candles in a row for a trend to be established. And that's what I personally will be looking out for, at which point I will also be looking for the 10 SMA to cross over that 21 EMA. But right now, of course, this is all premature. Price could very well get up to that Tenkin 21 only to get rejected once again. Okay, if it gets rejected once again, I will be looking for price to get supported at that $8 region. If we start breaking that to the downside, I do believe that we're coming back down to that $7.20 region once again. What I do not want to see, even on those macro timeframes, is this. Get onto the weekly time frame. I do not want to see as a bull, okay, if I am bullish on Chainlink USDT, I do not want to see price taking out this wick low right here. And guys, we are super close, okay? This wick low is sitting at $6.50. We start taking that out to the downside, okay? We take it out and we put in a new wick low. I do believe that this Chainlink is going to be taking a very, very bearish turn, at which point it will be doing something very different. I'll be looking for further continuation to the downside, going all the way down to $4.50. But as things stand, we are currently on support. We have not lost that yet until we actually close this candle in 4 days from now. Only then will we really know whether or not Chainlink has lost a weekly level. Okay, before that, notice we are still very much above weekly support. If we close over weekly support, Chainlink could rally from here. Okay, possibly first testing its cloud levels and then going up to its horizontals. This is going to be a very, very volatile range. So 2 things. You do not want Chainlink losing this wick low right here at $6.50, and look for a 4-hour uptrend to be established if we are looking for continuation to the upside. And yeah, this is all I have for you for Chainlink and Bitcoin. With this, trade safely, trade stress-free, trade the mango way, trade the easy way, guys. Ciao.